Regular physical activity increases physical capabilities, stamina and force, decreases fatigue, increases the feeling of well-being, increases self-esteem, and decreases the risks of developing chronic diseases, cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, and some cancers. Not mentioning it also decreases anxiety, and it is now well known that when comparing anxiolytic drugs to physical activity effects, physical activity has the same effects as anxiolytics without any secondary effects. At last, physical activity improves sleep, so one who has any regular physical activity sleeps better, feels less fatigue in the morning, and is less tired for the rest of the day. The effects of physical activity are manifold. They first induce the production of endorphins and dopamine by the brain. These neurotransmitters induce a direct impression, a feeling of euphoria, well-being, and pleasure. The other effect is linked to the effect on stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. Stress is known since the evolution of mankind, but in the past, 40,000 years ago, stress was energetic. In other words, when faced with an attack, one had to either run away, escape, or attack. So one had to release energy reserves, glucose or fats. Nowadays, stress is not energetic anymore, but psychological. In other words, one is exposed to stress when in the workplace or in the car with daily traffic jams. There is no need for energy expenditure, but glucose and fats are released without being used, which leads to storage, and then to long-term atherosclerosis and diabetes. With physical activity, first, the released glucose and fats are consumed, and secondly, cortisol, when secreted repeatedly in excess, loses its 24-hour rhythm. Normally, the cortisol level is high in the morning and decreases at the end of the day. If secreted excessively in response to a chronic stress, it loses its rhythm, and the rhythm is altered. With regular physical activity, one can even observe the rhythm going back to normal in stressed subjects. One can practice aquatic activities because water environment is soothing, massaging, and relaxing. One can also have outdoor activities because going out of the usual environment has a relaxing effect. And green has a relaxing effect too. Martial arts sports, but also Qigong, yoga, have a significant impact because controlling and working on breathing is needed. It is also the case of endurance exercises, where a good control of the breathing rate and heart rate is needed. But it is the case of dance as well. For example, of tango, where one must work with one's partner, completely forget their surroundings to be able to follow the partner's breathing and moves. And also, all physical activities that are enjoyable and can induce a feeling of pleasure.